Namaste, beautiful friends. This is Elle with Sacred Union Tarot. I had a huge download last night I wanted to share with you, which is prompting this reading. Probably a week or two ago, I said something about feeling that you are being isolated as a way of insulating you. And I really am feeling that energy, so I gave the examples like there are just people in your life that may have been in your life for quite a while and they're just kind of exiting your life. Let's see if I can move this down a little bit. Okay, I guess I don't know what's going on with that. Sorry, it's a bit of a, all right, whatever. And I felt like that there were people that were exiting your life, like just poof. Not in a death kind of way, but in a way of they just aren't on the frequency match. They don't jive with your vibe anymore. And it's become almost to the point where it's uncomfortable. So they're kind of avoiding or dropping out. You're kind of avoiding and dropping out. And so it's creating this isolation feeling in many of the light workers. And what I realized what was happening, if you know anything about Dolores Cannon's work, you know, we've always talked about the shift, and I gave you evidence that the shift was occurring. That was in a video just a couple of weeks ago, that there is a shift in the energies. But Dolores Cannon talks about the shift to the new earth. And what we're talking about is going from the 3D to the 5D. But not everybody's going to go. And Dolores Cannon makes that. And it's not like there's two worlds that are coming. It's a dimension, like all dimensions that overlay the 3D, the 5D overlays that. And as you're ascending, you ascend into those higher dimensions. What I'm getting to, and the energy that I'm getting, the explanation that I got from my guides was that you are being pulled. If you feel as though there are things in your life that have been in your life for a long, long time that just don't resonate anymore, and it seems to be a nice big bulk of them, and you feel like you're really being pulled, like their energy is pulling you back, that it is because when you leave that energetic field, there is a sense of loss for them. And so they tend to try and pull you back in. Their energy, it may not be conscious, but their energy is pulling you back in. The energy of things, maybe some items that no longer resonate with you. It's hard for you to part with because you feel like there's going to be a void, a loss, if you allow that energy to go to another place. So I think what I'm just really trying to say is, if you're feeling this sense of being pulled away, isolated, it is because you are ascending into the new earth, and you can't ascend with that tether, that ballast holding you back. All right, that was a friend I'm gonna have lunch with. So let's see what the fairies have to say, because the fairies are guardians. And it feels as though their role has shifted somewhat too. And I don't know. Look, check out Dolores Cannon's work on the new earth. And I think maybe you'll understand why you're feeling so isolated and pulled. Because light workers are the ones who will be, I don't want to say converting, but they're elevating to a new dimension where there is more light, there is more love, and we're anchoring that. We're the kind of the cadre of humans on the planet now that are going to go and create that, be in that energy so that it expands over the 3D, and hopefully others will ascend up to the 5D too. Okay, enough talk. Purity. And this is purity of intentions, and I know we talked about that in a more recent reading. Check it out. It was purity of intentions. Always trust in the purity of your heart. Look inside your heart, and within it, you will find the answer to your questions. And I knew this to be true because all that I'm sharing with you is coming from questions that I've been asking about why do I feel like, and this is for some people, this is family members, this is people that you've been in committed relationships for a long, long time. It could be some, members of your soul tribe that just are not embracing the light, just not able to let go of some of the lower, denser energies. And so they're being, it's kind of like they're rooted in old energy, and they just can't even imagine letting go. And so that energy is tugging at you because of those cords are so thick. The Hermit. Saw the Hermit yesterday in the weekly forecast. Find or be, okay, here we go. Take a break from society. A commitment to your spiritual growth. Exactly what I've been saying. This is about, you're going to have to understand that part of this ascension comes with loss. It's the loss of the ballast, the denser energies, and some of those denser energies are held by people whom you love. It doesn't mean you can't ever see them again. It doesn't mean you have to detach totally. But you do have to minimize the impact on your energy, because otherwise you're in limbo. Okay, the Star card. Oh my. Major Arcanas 3. And then the Ace of Autumn. All right, my intention on this reading was to take what the words say, the text on these cards. So, time to take action, the power of creativity, success that allows for a life of luxury. This is the Empress creating. We are all creating this new earth. And that's a feminine energy in union with masculine action, that we are ascending and bringing our light to a different dimension so that it can really stabilize. And then we have the Star. Look to the future with hope and optimism, the power of faith to move mountains, happy changes that bring relief from challenging times. So whatever's been in limbo for you is partly because you're being in this energetic tug of war, and it feels as though because there isn't that progression, that you are in limbo and many things in your life are in limbo. So let's allow the detachment, knowing that it's not a goodbye. It's just a detaching from the energy. So you're just releasing the ballast so that you can ascend into the new earth and bring that light with you. This is a windfall of money, advice, or assistance from others. Here you have find or be a mentor, a very successful project, a happy change. So all very positive energy here. This is absolutely a new earth. And these are changes, but you're going to have to allow for the release of the ballast. Because if you don't, it's going to keep you in this limbo state, because you're ascending, but you're being pulled from beneath, and you just feel like, I just can't seem to progress. Either you start to sink or you start to ascend, and then you kind of get into that Two of Pentacles tug of war energy, and you just hover. Okay, so in order to conceptualize this, it's ballast, and you just need to release it energetically. And you're gonna pretty much have to minimize and mitigate the amount of effect that energy has on you. But look at all this beautiful energy here. And when you feel like you have to make this decision, like, for some of us it's family members who might be misogynistic or narcissistic, and you just can't deal with that anymore. You just can't. It's just like, I can't deal with that toxic energy anymore. So you kind of step away with a happy heart, and you don't sever, you just release the need to feel bonded. You can still care and love them, but you can't absorb their energy, and you can't be in relationship, a close proximal relationship to somebody whose energy is so disruptive to yours, because it's just low vibration, and it's just because of the bond is keeping you in this limbo state. And we need all the light workers to be able to release so that we can all ascend into the new earth and stabilize it for the rest of humanity who chooses to awaken and ascend as well. But you know, the density of the 3D is very concerning for a lot of people right now. Yeah, there's a Chariot card and the Ace of Cups. Got two aces, definitely new, something new, but we have to move on to this new, and it's okay. Don't feel guilty. Guilt is a form of grief. Say it again. Guilt is a form of grief. Don't feel guilty because you don't have to grieve. You're making a choice for not only yourself, but to assist the other light workers that have chosen to go through this transition. And you just have to kind of say, I can't do my work as long as I'm being bombarded with low vibrational energies, and it's creating a ballast situation that is pulling me, tugging me back. If that makes sense, would you please comment? Because I feel like I'm just channeling right now, and I can't even tell you the big picture. Yeah, justice. This is the karma. The people who are ascending into the new earth have cleared their karma. Their generational karma and all the karma from this lifetime, they have cleared it. They have, and you can clear it by forgiveness. You have forgiven others and you have forgiven yourself. But whatever karma, whatever lessons that you have, been on loop and repeat, you finally have embraced that wisdom, and now you've cleared that karma. It's closed. We saw the closing of the karmic cycles a couple of months ago. I think it was with one of those eclipses. It was definitely the closing of the karmic cycles in that eclipse window. We have cleared that karma, but you're still being tugged because the lower density energy feels the release for you, and the energy's first action is to try and pull you back in. So you could be having arguments with these people. You could be, you've cleared out a bunch of stuff, and then you're like, oh, I don't know if I really, and then you realize it's just the energy. It's the energetic bond that is sabotaging you. Don't allow it to sabotage you. This is your karmic closure. There is going to be a release. Many of us have been really cleaning out a lot of unnecessary items, lightening our physical environment. We've been doing that because that's so, as within, so without. We are feeling lighter inside. We know that we are in a transitionary period, and we've been isolating to be insulated, because we know we can't deal with the low vibrational energy anymore. Light workers usually do not watch the news. They carefully consume information, but they do not just blatantly the word I'm looking for is distractedly just have it on in the background with that low vibration circulation in your home. The news networks, espousing all of this fear-based energy, because it doesn't work for you anymore. You know that that's not the truth. It's a control mechanism. Light workers have, kind of, I don't want to say singularity. I'm getting but they have really made their circle small. because those people who have been out to sabotage and possibly undermine the light worker with traditional belief systems and old patterns of behaviors have really made that obvious. It has become very obvious. So now the light workers are like, I can't do that anymore. That's where that setting boundaries came in. But many of us felt guilty for setting boundaries. Why? Because guilt is a form of grief. When we set those boundaries, we feel like it compromised the relationship, and we grieved over that in case the relationship crumbled. Well, it either transformed or it crumbled. But in either case, it was the setting boundaries from self-love that was the important feature there. And I'm just going to bring this up because yesterday's weekly forecast turned out to be a twin flame reading. Yeah. I'm getting some pretty heavy fire sign energy here. We have Libra energy, Cancerian energy, Virgo energy, Aquarius energy, and Tauran energy. So there are some people who are trying to malign you as we speak because they are fearful that if you ascend, you leave. And they're feeling a sense of fear-based action so that they can try and get you to stay in that relationship. The worst thing a narcissist experiences is the person of their attention figures it out and leaves. So there are some low vibrational energies here that are not wanting you to ascend. First of all, it could be a loss of power for them, but second of all, it's a loss of that emotional connection. They feel that energetically. This is just, and there's the High Priestess. We saw her yesterday, but she was in the reverse. And Nine of Wands on the bottom. You intuitively know that the old density is a mismatch to your current vibration, and you're trying to move forward, but there is a lingering limbo energy that's caused by this push and pull, much like in the twin flames where there's a runner chaser. In this case, you're kind of spiritually not running but ascending, which creates kind of this vacuum, and others that are in the lower density, and I'm getting a resentful energy. So somebody may be dealing with somebody who's very resentful of them, but it's almost like they're like, no, don't go. No, don't go. Because then they feel a sense of loneliness, and their fear and insecurity then gets triggered. Okay, this is a bizarre reading. I'm not going to apologize because this is the reading that's coming through, the energy that I'm channeling. But for those of you who are questioning why you feel like you're being so isolated and you're just focused on, some of the things you thought you loved, your items you thought you loved, you're just like, it doesn't work for me anymore, and I just need to release some of this lower vibration energy. And it feels like it's come in this huge wave, and it's happening all at once. It really hasn't, but we have been prepared for it all along, and we've been doing it little by little, but now that was energetic work, and now we're in the manifestation of it. Okay, so please let me know if any of this made sense, because that was very unexpected for the reading, but I'm going to put it up because this is valuable information for somebody. Until I see you next time, namaste.